Hi, it's Dr. Diana. Do you want to feel happier and more peaceful? Well, this Instagram Live is for you then, because we're going to talk about something called oxytocin. And oxytocin is a really cool, it's a hormone. It's actually, they also call it a neurotransmitter, but it's actually a hormone from our brain. It comes from our brain from the hypothalamus to the pituitary, and it's released, hey Erica, from the brain, the posterior pituitary gland, long name, but it's basically our brain. And it's released when we're actually with people having fun. So it could be talking to your friends. It could be connecting with your partner. It could be lots of different ways. And the thing about oxytocin is that it's really important in our lives. And for women, it's important because oxytocin actually comes from the Greek and it means swift birth. So we use it actually when I was doing obstetrics and gynecology. We were using Pitocin, which is a form of oxytocin, to help with labor. So it helps with uterine contractions, which is pretty cool, right? But what we also know is it's released with breastfeeding. So when a woman has a baby and she starts breastfeeding, she actually is releasing oxytocin, and that helps let the milk come out. So that's pretty amazing, right? How much oxytocin does for women. And even if we're not in labor, even if we're not breastfeeding, oxytocin is really important with connection. So I want to share some ways that we can connect better now that we know what oxytocin is. Again, I'm Dr. Diana Hoppe, the founder of Amazing Over 40. I want everyone to be amazing in late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. So this is going to be a really cool discussion today about oxytocin. And so oxytocin is crazy in our bodies. It is the love hormone. So when you actually connect with your partner, let's say by having sex or hugging or kissing, you're actually releasing oxytocin. And that makes you feel more peaceful, more bonded, and more just like secure. So it's a really amazing, amazing hormone. And it also can be released during different times. So I want to share 8 ways that we can increase our oxytocin levels naturally. You want to go for that? All right, everyone, looks like you're in for it. Let's do it. Let's be down for this. So 8 ways to increase oxytocin naturally. 1 is to give a kiss or a hug to a friend or your pet. Now, I love my pet. I have a little Kona. You've seen him in different videos. He's a really cool cat, and I love him. And when I hug him, I feel more relaxed, more peaceful, and really connected. So when you connect with your pets or your friends, but for me, I'm talking about my pet, it's really good for you because it releases oxytocin. Another is being more intimate, let's say with your partner. And I wrote a book about that. It's called Healthy Sex Drive, Healthy You, What Your Libido Reveals About Your Life. And you can definitely get that on Amazon and just put that in Healthy Sex Drive and you'll definitely get the book, which is really cool. Another way is when you actually receive a compliment. You know how sometimes we say, oh, like someone says, oh, your hair looks really pretty today. And we say, oh, well, we just washed it. Well, what if you just say, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's a really nice compliment. And I'm happy about my hair today. What if we did that? That actually will release more oxytocin. So that's a really cool way so that we can do multiple things. We get the compliment and we can feel better about ourselves and we release oxytocin. Pretty cool, right? Another is when you're listening to your friend. I'm going to have a sip of water. And what it means to be an active listener. A lot of times we're talking with our friends, but we're thinking of what the next comment will be rather than listening to what they're saying, right? So what if I challenge you all to listen more in depth? So when a person is talking, really listen to them. Not be thinking about what's going on behind them or what you have to do today or what's on the to-do list or your phone. You actively listening. That is, you are there with them in the present. That actually increases oxytocin. That's pretty amazing, right? I think it is. And another way is get a massage. This is one of my favorite because there's a power of touch. So touch is really important. As we get touched by, let's say, our pets, our friends, our family, maybe our partners, we actually release oxytocin because that power of touch is huge. So in massage, with COVID and stuff, people weren't going out and we saw a lot of loneliness. We saw much lower levels of oxytocin because people weren't going out. They weren't seeing each other. They weren't going for massages. And that causes a lot of depression. So oxytocin is something that makes you happy. It makes you feel good. So that's why I'm sharing ways that you can increase your oxytocin naturally. So getting a massage is huge because that's also self-care. And I'm a big proponent of self-care. So taking better care of yourself makes you happier and your whole family happier, right? I think a lot of you would agree with that one. So the sixth one that I want to share with you, is exercise. And I actually love exercise. And I've been getting more into pickleball. So many of you know I moved to Nevada. This is my home office here. I just kind of get it all gussied up for you all. And I play in the morning for like 2 hours and I do drills, which is really fun because you get more exercise doing that. So I get more cardio. And then I might play some games with, some matches with people. But I have a guy I play with who's really nice and really low key. And we do these drills for an hour and a half. And that just gets your oxytocin going. It gets your own endorphins going also, which are also natural pain relievers and painkillers and makes you feel really, really good. So exercise, that could be spin class. It could be even yoga. It could be walking in the forest or walking on the beach. That's really cool because then you get nature. And nature's a whole nother level of feeling good and being happy. Another way, which is very interesting, is letting out your emotions. So if you're unhappy, going to cry. Cry will actually get out those other sensations, but will increase your oxytocin levels. So when we try to control our emotions, we're stopping oxytocin from being released. That's kind of stressful to our body. So cortisol is the hormone that gets released, not oxytocin. So when we're being open, authentic, honest with our friends and our family, let's say you're out with some girlfriends on a walk, on the beach, and you're all just letting out your aggravation, that is releasing oxytocin. That's why you feel so much better when you get back in the car or you go for coffee afterwards. You're just feeling better because you released those emotions. So that is very, very important. And number 8, one of my favorite ones is have a girls' night out. So you get the kids to stay home, get a sitter, have your husband or partner take care of the kids if you have kids, but have a night where you can connect with your girlfriends. Friends are huge. And when we're just stressed out, we're feeling oh my God, my work is crazy. My husband's driving me crazy. My kids are driving me crazy. Life is crazy. Having a night out with your girlfriends is really important. And it doesn't mean necessarily you have to have wine, although I do love my wine. But it could be a cooking class, or you do a potluck at someone's house. The thing is to keep it simple. You want to make it so you're not as stressed, because we know stress does the opposite of what oxytocin does. Stress makes us release cortisol, get all pumped up, and then we get that fight or flight reaction. We want the opposite, which is where you're calm, you're peaceful, you're happy, and you just want to be there. So it could be with your friends, with your pets, with your partner, with even nature. Being in the garden with your flowers or planting, that also releases oxytocin because you're connecting with the earth, which is another way that we can naturally do that. I got to add that as number 9. So I hope all of you got something out of this. It's cool. This is probably one of my first Instagram lives. Hopefully it's working and you guys are getting all of this. And know that I'll do probably once a month, maybe twice, I'll do an Instagram live. And I try to keep it the same day, the same day of the week and the same time, so that it's going to be a repetition. So you guys know at a certain date and a certain time, I will be here with you talking about how you can be amazing in whatever age of life you are. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. If you want more information about oxytocin and why it's important, I have a blog post about it on my website, amazingover40.com. And please share your comments, share this with friends and family, because this is what it's all about. It's about communication, and I'm going to start having a membership plan too. So I think a lot of you will be excited about that. So forming community where we can be more together. We can do it by group, like circle, whatever way we can get it the easiest. Because again, simple is the best. So with that, I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and stay amazing.